parts would you take home? The head and the sexual organ.
Yeah, but right.
What would you do with the sexual part?
That was in.
One was painted, they said.
Oh, that one, when they died, I just put the paint over it. Is there anything like,
So there's a bunch of photographers from the newspaper who want to take a picture. Do you want to take a picture?
No, that's not yet. We'll get to straight off.
Would you enjoy it while you were doing it?
That's the worst part of it. I really didn't then. I knew better, restless.
When you dig these graves up, you were kind of in a haze too, is that it?
That's what I could do, just how you look at it.
And then one time you said you were trying to realize what you were doing and you covered her up without taking anything.
That's right.
Then what would you do with the head?
That must have been taken from reading about these magazines and everything. Taking the flesh off like a headhunter.
What would you do with the sexual parts?
I wouldn't enjoy it or anything.
How long ago did you start?
Like I say, it might be 4 years.
What would you do with the sexual parts?
Edward Theodore Gein, often referred to simply as Ed Gein, was born on August the 27th, 1906, in La Crosse, Wisconsin. He grew up in a troubled household with his parents George and Augusta Gein, and his older brother Henry. Gein's mother, Augusta, was a devoutly religious woman who instilled in her sons a strict and often harsh view of the world, emphasizing the evils of society and the immorality of women. Augusta's influence, coupled with the family's isolation on a farm in Plainfield, Wisconsin, played a significant role in shaping Ed's psyche. Welcome to What's That Behind You, the channel where we explore the unexplained, the eerie, and the downright spine-chilling. If you have ever felt a shiver down your spine when you're alone in the dark, or if you've ever wondered about the mysterious shadows lurking just out of sight, then you've come to the right place. Join us on a journey into the unknown as we delve into the world of paranormal phenomena, urban legends, and unsolved mysteries. From ghostly encounters to strange sightings, from haunted places to legendary creatures, we'll leave no stone unturned in our quest for answers. But beware, as we uncover the secrets of the supernatural, you may find yourself looking over your shoulder more often. So sit back, turn down the lights, and prepare to discover the truth behind the things that go bump in the night. Welcome to What's That Behind You, where fear meets fascination. Gein's father, George, was an alcoholic who struggled to maintain steady employment. Despite the family's financial hardships, Augusta managed to keep a tight grip on her sons, often isolating them from the outside world, and instilling in them a deep fear of the sinful influences beyond their farm. Tragedy struck the Gein family in 1940, when George Gein passed away from heart failure. Following his death, Ed and his brother Henry took on odd jobs around the town to support themselves. However, their close relationship was strained when Henry began dating a divorced woman, prompting concerns about Ed's unhealthy attachment to their mother. In 1944, Henry Gein mysteriously died in a fire on the family farm. While the official cause of death was listed as heart failure, some suspicions arose due to bruising found on Henry's head. Despite these suspicions, no official investigation was conducted, and Ed was left alone with his mother Augusta, who suffered a debilitating stroke shortly after Henry's death. Ed dedicated himself for caring for his mother, whose health continued to decline until her death in 1945. Augusta's passing devastated Ed, leaving him alone on the family farm. After his mother's death, Gein's mental state deteriorated further, and he became increasingly reclusive. He boarded up rooms in the house, including those used by his mother, leaving them untouched, while the rest of the house fell into disrepair. It was during this time that Gein's fascination with death and the macabre began to manifest. He became an avid reader of pulp magazines and stories involving cannibalism and Nazi atrocities. His interest in these subjects, coupled with his isolation and deteriorating mental health, would ultimately lead to a series of horrific crimes. Between 1951 and 1954, Gein embarked on a series of grave robbings in the local cemeteries, exhuming the bodies of recently deceased women. He would later confess to creating various items from the human remains, including clothing and household objects. The morning of November the 16th, 1957, marked a grim turning point in the history of Plainfield, Wisconsin, when 58-year-old Bernice Warden, the owner of the local hardware store, disappeared under mysterious circumstances. When her son, Deputy Sheriff Frank Warden, entered the store later that day, he found the cash register open and bloodstains on the floor. Suspicion fell upon Ed Gein, a reclusive and peculiar resident of Plainfield, who had been seen in the store the evening before. Upon investigating, authorities found Ed at a nearby grocery store and promptly arrested him. The ensuing search of Gein's property would uncover horrors beyond the imagination. In a shed on Gein's farm, investigators made a gruesome discovery. The decapitated and mutilated body of Bernice Warden hung upside down by her legs with a crossbar and ropes. Further searches of Gein's property revealed a macabre collection of human remains and artifacts crafted from human body parts. Among the horrifying items found were bowls made from human skulls, a wastebasket fashioned from human skin, and a corset made from the torso of a female victim. Gein had also fashioned masks from the skin of female heads, and even a lampshade from the skin of a human face. Gein confessed to a series of grave robbings, during which he exhumed bodies from the local cemeteries. He admitted to having made as many as 40 nocturnal visits to the graveyards to exhume bodies while in a trance-like state. On some occasions, he returned home empty-handed, while on others, he took the bodies home to create his macabre artifacts. Additionally, Gein confessed to the murder of tavern owner Mary Hogan, whose head was found in his house. He claimed to have shot her, but later denied memory of the details of her death. The extent of Gein's depravity shocked the nation, and his trial garnered significant media attention. However, his initial confession was ruled inadmissible due to mistreatment by the sheriff, who reportedly assaulted Gein during questioning. Despite this setback, Gein was found guilty of murder, but declared legally insane, leading to his commitment to a psychiatric institution. In addition to the murders of Mary Hogan and Bernice Warden, Ed Gein was considered a suspect in several other unsolved cases in Wisconsin. Authorities confronted Gein with a list of missing persons cases that had occurred between the death of his mother and Warden. Especially after the discovery of Hogan's remains, lie detector tests seemingly exonerated Gein of any other murders, and his psychiatrists concluded that his violence was primarily directed at women who physically resembled his mother. Among the cases linked to Gein was the disappearance of Georgia Jean Weckler, an 8-year-old girl who vanished near her farm home in Fort Atkinson on May the 1st, 1947. Witnesses reported seeing a dark-coloured Ford sedan in the area, similar to the one owned by Gein. Another case was that of Evelyn Grace Hartley, a 15-year-old girl who went missing while babysitting in La Crosse on October the 24th, 1953. Despite Gein being questioned about her disappearance and passing 2 lie detector tests, no trace of Evelyn was found on his property. Victor Harold Travis, age 43, and his acquaintance Raymond Burgess disappeared on November the 1st, 1952. They were hunting deer near Gein's farm, despite objections from Gein about them hunting. They were never seen again, and no trace of them has ever been found. Gein was also tentatively linked to the disappearance of James Walsh in June 1954. A neighbour who lived near Gein. Additionally, he was investigated for potential involvement in August 1956 disappearance of Irene Keating and the attempted abduction of Judy Rodenkall in Auroraville. While Gein was never officially charged or convicted in connection with these cases, his proximity to the victims and the nature of his crimes raised suspicions about his involvement. However, the full extent of his potential crimes may never be known, leaving the cases among the many mysteries surrounding Ed Gein's dark and disturbing legacy. On November the 21st, 1957, Ed Gein was arraigned on one count of first-degree murder in Washaru County Court, where he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Diagnosed with schizophrenia and deemed mentally incompetent, Gein was found unfit for trial. Consequently, he was sent to Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane, now known as the Dodge Correctional Institution, a maximum security facility in Wuhan. Later, he was transferred to the Mendota State Hospital in Madison. In 1968, doctors assessed Gein as mentally capable of participating in his defense. Thus, his trial commenced on November the 7th, 1968, lasting 1 week. During the trial, a psychiatrist testified that Gein had claimed he did not know whether the killing of Bernice Worden was intentional or accidental. Gein recounted that while examining a gun in Worden's store, the weapon discharged, resulting in her death. He maintained he had not aimed the rifle at Worden and had no memory of anything else that transpired that morning. At the defence's request, Gein's trial proceeded without a jury, with Judge Robert H. Golomar presiding. On November the 14th, Golomar found Gein guilty. A subsequent trial focused on Gein's sanity after testimonies from doctors representing both the prosecution and defense. Golomar ruled Gein not guilty by reason of insanity and ordered his commitment to Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane for the remainder of his life. Ed Gein resided in a mental hospital where he received psychiatric care. Notably, Judge Golomar mentioned the prohibitive costs associated with multiple trials and emphasized that Gein was tried for only one murder, that of Mrs. Worden, although he had actually confessed to killing Mary Hogan as well. Gein's legacy remains one of the most chilling and infamous in the annals of American crime history. Ed Gein passed away at the Mendota Mental Health Institution on July the 26th, 1984, succumbing to respiratory failure caused by lung cancer at the age of 77. Following his death, souvenir seekers repeatedly chipped away at his grave marker in Plainfield Cemetery, eventually leading to the theft of the entire stone in 2000. Fortunately, it was recovered in June 2001 near Seattle, Washington, and placed in storage at the Washaru County Sheriff's Department. However, Gein's gravesite remains unmarked. Although its location is known, he is interred beside his parents and brother, resting in eternal obscurity in Plainfield Cemetery. Ed Gein's gruesome crimes and twisted psyche have left an indelible mark on the American popular culture. permeating film, literature, music, and even theatre. Robert Bloch's 1959 suspense novel Psycho first brought Gein's story to the widespread public attention, later adapted into Alfred Hitchcock's iconic 1960 film. Since then, numerous films including Deranged and Ed Gein, the Butcher of Plainfield, have loosely adapted his story for the silver screen. Gein's influence extends beyond film to music as well. American thrash metal band Slayer immortalized him in their song Dead Skin Mask from their 1990 album Seasons in the Abyss. Similarly, the American grunge band Tad paid homage to Gein with their song Nipple Belt from the 1989 album God's Balls. Literature has also been influenced by Gein, with the character Patrick Bateman in Bret Easton Ellis's novel American Psycho mistakenly attributing quotes to him. Additionally, Ed Gein's story served as inspiration for the character Norman Bates in Psycho, Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs, and others. Beyond entertainment, Ed Gein's story has been explored in various media forms. Filmmakers Errol Morris and Werner Herzog attempted to collaborate on a film project about Gein in the 1970s, while a stage play titled Cannibal und Liebe was produced in Germany in 2012. Additionally, a multi-part docuseries titled Psycho, The Lost Tapes of Ed Gein aired in 2023, shedding light on the life and upbringing of the notorious killer. Ed Gein's legacy continues to fascinate and terrify audiences, showcasing the enduring impact of his chilling crimes on popular culture. As we conclude our exploration into the darkness, we hope that you've enjoyed this journey into the heart of mystery and intrigue. Remember, the paranormal world is vast and ever-evolving, so be sure to subscribe to What's That Behind You for more thrilling adventures and spine-tingling investigations. If you found this video captivating, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends who share your fascination for the unknown. Your support helps us continue to uncover the secrets of the supernatural. Thank you for joining us on this hair-raising adventure. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled and your senses sharp. For now, you don't have to be afraid of what's behind you.